I want to quickly address what Drinker brought up though about this whole thing about the battleground thing. I think we're getting near an end because I mean, I don't know if anybody here is actually a fan of Bill Maher, but he's actually had a few good takes as of the last year or so. He's one of the few, and he does speak out of both sides of his mouth, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, he's got this YouTube channel now, and he does these long-form interviews with people, and he's done some pretty good interviews on there. I got to give him credit for that. And he had this conversation the other day, or at least he posted it on his YouTube the other day, with Sean Penn. And he flat out basically puts Penn on the spot. He's like, why is it all you fuckers don't believe in this shit behind the scenes, but in front of the scenes, you know, he's basically saying nothing is going to change until you guys start saying something. And you really got Sean Penn basically poking fun at the whole pronoun thing and everything in that conversation. And I'm like, this is the problem right here.
I think what you'll see, right, is the turning point will be when the sort of moderate people on the left break ranks with the most extreme elements and say, no, you're bringing down our entire like worldview. You're making us look like clowns. You need to fuck off. It
started with the feminists have now turned sides.
Yeah, I think they have, haven't they?
They have. They you know, women sport, you know, the sports thing and penises in change rooms.
The women who are referred to as TERFs, like J.K. Rowling, was worse than that certain fella in that strife in Germany in the 40s.
No, you mean yeah.
I mean, I think, well, they hate, like I said last night, you know, there's nothing they hate more than one of their own who breaks ranks. And that's exactly what she did. And she's like a very high profile person, obviously, that commands a lot of attention. And so that's the backlash against her is just insane. Like it's relentless. It must be
and it's from a small group, but it's from a small group.
They're just very vocal and they get a lot of attention.
It's more people breaking ranks, exactly as you said.
But yeah, Bill Maher, I mean, I'm not American, so I'm not an expert on all this stuff, but yeah, like, as far as I understand, he's a pretty, you know, he's a moderate sort of left-wing guy.
Yeah.
And he probably went along with this stuff up to a point until it got utterly ridiculous and then decided, no, I need to start speaking out now. Like, common sense must prevail at some point here.
A lot of his, because on his show every week he has, you know, at the end of the show he does like, because he's a comedian, he's a stand-up comedian, so yeah, he has his new rules at the end of the show. And almost every week now for the past damn near year or so or more, it's been a new rule basically going after the woke. Every week. And, you know, he's not gaining any friends with that, but, you know, like I said, after I saw this interview with Sean Penn, because like Sean Penn is one of those guys, right? Like, he's like the arbiter of woke. So if he's kind of calling this pronoun stuff, you know, a little ridiculous, then I think we're getting on the cusp of everybody kind of understanding, at least on that side of the aisle, that they've gone too far.
It does make me wonder when Hollywood's going to switch.
Well, and I think that the Velma was one of those moments, because in our we had a member chat, and I'll tell you, Drinker, one of the funniest things I ever heard is when I wish I could give him credit for it, whoever it said Velma his show is so woke, it's too woke for the woke people. Like,
it is, yeah.
It's like even the woke people are going like, whoa, this is too far.
That's why you got all those conspiracy theories that like it was some kind of right-wing, you know, troll operation. You know, Mindy Kaling's actually a secret conservative, and she was just mocking like all this stuff with a show that was so over the top ludicrous that like nobody could enjoy it. And I don't know, man. It's if it's at that point, man, you've crossed into the realms of parody, and so you've essentially embraced the fact that your cause is ludicrous now.
Yep.
And that's maybe where we're at. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is this is because we were talking Warner Brothers and we've been talking about like them moving forward as a company. I'm going to point out that Bill Maher has enough following that he's kicking out somebody that would normally host a show on Fridays on CNN.
Yeah, he's on CNN now.
Yeah, and they're compiling his clips and putting them up as a show because that's how bad CNN
is doing right now. Yeah. When you got to turn to Bill Maher.
I'm like, wow, the voice of reason on CNN is Bill Maher? Somebody help me.
CNN must be praying for Trump to get reelected.
Oh, hell yes,
they
are.
The only thing that will save their ratings.
And CBS, Les Moonves is quoted as saying that the news division never made more money than when Trump was in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, PMS NBC absolutely needs Trump back.
Well, Zaslav even said Republican presidents are good for the economy. He flat out said it. That was one of the reasons he was one of their enemies.
I don't mean it in that. He's not.
He said that
it that way.
Yeah, but he said that in reference to the question was about Trump, and that was his response.
Yeah.
And that was one of the moments where all these people jumped on Zaslav as, oh, he's a Republican. We got to go after him.
He became an enemy real quick.
He became a boogeyman real quick.
Well, one of the funny things about being a logical Canadian, even though I'm tend to be left of center on social issues, I know the facts, and Canada always does better with a Republican president, even though Canadians tend to be Democrats. That was a funny thing. They just didn't want to deal with the fact that Republicans are less protectionist, and Canada as a country does much better with Republican presidents, even though we don't like them. That's just a fact.
Yeah. Well, what we do have as a fact is we have some super chats to get.